Aș vrea să vă mulțumesc că v-ați strâns în număr atât de mare și ați găsit timp și pentru noi și pentru webinarul care am menționat un pic mai devreme. De asemenea, vreau să vă spun că webinarul, vreau să vă anunț mai bine zis că webinarul va fi înscris, sper că nu aveți nimic împotrivă, pentru ca ulterior înregistrarea dată să fie plasată pe canalul nostru de YouTube Xontex Systems. Pot să vă spun pe scurt doar că mă numesc Corneliu Bănovski, activez în calitate de director vânzări în compania Xontex System și, precum am menționat un pic mai devreme, vreau să vă spun că astăzi am decis să organizăm un webinar care are o temă, să zicem, un pic mai sensibilă, și adică cum să controlăm și să protejăm informația partajată în regimul online și offline. Adică, să zicem, cum ar fi posibil ca informația care noi este distribuită într-o companie sau instituție să putem gestiona accesul la ea, adică să-i oferim cuiva accesul sau, dacă este nevoie, chiar și să-l revocăm. Precum am spus, online și offline. Vreau să vă spun că astăzi, alături de noi, din partea companiei Xontex System, va fi prezent și domnul Oleg Uzun, directorul tehnic a companiei Xontex System. De asemenea, va fi prezent și domnul Alexandru Bulat, este inginerul nostru de rețea și nu doar, pentru că domnul Alexandru mai are și unele soluții de securitate pe care dumnealui le gestionează. De asemenea, va fi alături de noi și domnișoara Teodora Scurtu, director la Xontex Academy, și de asemenea și colegul meu de la departamentul vânzării, Dorin Gribincea. Ce ține din partea companiei Access, alături vom avea astăzi pe Sandrine Noru, care este SealPath International Channel Manager, și John Under, care este responsabil de marketing pentru SealPath. Pe scurt, vreau să vă spun care va fi agenda. De la orele 10 până la 10 și 10 va fi un cuvânt de welcome. De la 10 și 10, 10:20 o prezentare a soluției SealPath. De la 10:20, 10:50 o prezentare demo a soluției SealPath. Deja de la 10:50 până la 11:05 vom oferi o prezentare demo cu un scenariu, adică o posibilitate de integrare cu soluții DLP de la Forcepoint și McAfee. Și deja de la 11:05 până la 11:15 vom reda toate trendurile SealPath, adică cam ce scenarii de utilizare a soluției în momentul bancar, privat sau guvernamental pot avea loc. Și de asemenea, deja de la 11:15, 11:30 vom avea o mică sesiune de întrebări-răspunsuri și partea, cred eu, cea mai bună, de la 11:30 și nu doar, și mai plăcută, să zic așa, și 11:45 tombola cu premii. Pot să menționez despre unele, hai să zicem, subiecte care vor fi discutate la acest webinar. Va fi cum să protejăm și monitorizăm oricând dorim noi informația, indiferent unde o expediem. De asemenea, cum să revocăm imediat sau după ceva timp accesul la informația care a fost trimisă atât în regimul online cât deja care este stocată și offline, cum să securizați și să criptați informația trimisă pe mail, cum să creăm niște drepturi limitate la informația trimisă, drepturi de editare, descărcare, printare, chiar inclusiv și să setăm niște date de expirare a informației. Și cum să lucrăm de la distanță împreună cu colegi de muncă, iar documentele să fie utilizate în comun și să rămână criptate și intacte. Hello, Sandrine.
Hello, good morning. How are you today? Nice to be with you.
Thanks, I'm fine. I finished my short presentation, and now I give to you, if you're ready.
I'm ready fully ready. Thank you very much.
Please let me move on to presentation of SealPath solution.
Thank you very much. Just 1 second, I will go. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for assisting to Sontex SealPath webinar today. Thank you very much to Sontex for inviting me. In fact, we are collaborating for the last 2 years. My name is Sandrine Vroux. I'm sorry, I will speak in English this morning. If you have any doubt, any question, you can interrupt at any time and we will send you information later on. Objective today is to introduce the smart protection for sensitive data and secure collaboration that is presenting SealPath in collaboration with Sontex. In fact, we will be talking about zero trust approach to information protection. We will be talking also about integration with between Salesforce and Forcepoint DLP, also with McAfee DLP. We will see some very interesting demo, and in fact what we want to talk about is the benefits of data protection plus data leak prevention and the benefits of the full integration. Okay, so just in order to start with the presentation today, there's a very important factor that arrived in the last 2-3 years, which is the increase of the hybrid and remote work in our perimeters, in our professional but also personal, familiar perimeters. Due to the last pandemic situation, all company has been pushing their employees to be working alone, remotely. And in fact, what we can observe, obviously, that cybersecurity attacks have increased significantly. We consider that workers are no longer in their office, they are connected to their corporate network remotely. And in fact, computers are no more centrally managed and protected. Okay, so what we see here is, on one hand, we have the full benefits of the hybrid work model that everybody knows. So you can read it. I will not go into details, but in fact, increasing the productivity, cost reduction, etc. So 36% of employees prefer to work at home. And in fact, this is a very important trend in, I would say, all the world in the last 2 years. In fact, we have been adapting so quickly to move the traditional business, the on-site business, to the remote business, that we can see also that the company has not had the time to adapt themselves. The company, but also, and mainly speaking, the employees. In fact, all human errors plays a major role in the breach of corporate and government information. Means that at the end of the story, the employee is the guilty people. Why? Because he has to adapt to this hyper-connected world of remote and hybrid world. And in fact, he doesn't take care about all the protection that he should take in order to prevent the risk and the cyber attack risk. So here we can see in 2021 the largest increase in the cost of a data leak in the last 7 years. Means that the cost is really increasing. This is not just a financial cost, this is also a reputational cost for any kind of company which has been act with the objective to leak the sensitive data, resell them, or have any kind of bad behavior. Okay, so this is something that we know. This is something that has been evaluated. In fact, there's many data about the threats that been provoked by the hybrid work. In fact, you can see here that 54% of 36,000 companies that had been surveyed had a data breach or loss in 2021. This is absolutely important. Another important point, talking about the perimeters that we will be approaching later, is that 48% of corporate cyber attacks come via mobile device. Means that now we are open to a very large perimeter, and all sensitive data are flying. Means that we don't control where they are going. In fact, the perimeters have been opening a lot. Data are traveling from one point to the other point. There's full anonymity, and you don't know where your data is going and who is getting access to this data. Okay, so here one of the objectives on the security side is really to know which data is going out of my company perimeters, to restrict any kind of unauthorized access, and to track where my data is living, which people will be touching and accessing to my data, in order, as a director of cybersecurity, to get a maximum visibility and maximum action in order to protect my data, even though the data has been sent already. Okay, data leakage can happen anywhere, means that usually 39% of the study says that this is due to internal incident. Internal incident, this is a very non-organized employee, somebody very stressed. Well, this is a malicious or involuntary bad use of the data and bad behavior. Okay, but 30% we have to consider that comes from malicious intent, means that all external attack getting to the organization, means that this is a 69% in total in the company, outside the company, that is really our concern. Means that the strategy of the moat and castle model is not working anymore. In fact, this is a network security model in which no one outside the network can access the data in the inside, but everyone inside the network can. Okay, so now there's no more perimeters in the organization. In fact, the information can be anywhere, and the security must travel with the data in order to ensure that the data is protected and is correctly tracked. Okay, so what can we see? We can see that now everybody in the company use their own device. This is the bring your own device. Everybody is getting back some sensitive information from the company network to the private network. I will exchange with my customer very important private files on WhatsApp, on my Gmail sometimes. In fact, all the perimeters has been exploding. Okay, means that by the past, we thought that everything that was internal was trusted and external was not trusted. But now there's a big mix, and we can see that the data is flying anywhere because of the cloud collaboration. Okay, so the data is everywhere, anywhere, and we have to be sure that anytime we can track this data. So in order to answer to this situation that I think everybody, every one of us has been living and suffering sometime till now, because all news about attacks, hacking, data leaks are frequent every day. I'm based in Spain, and last week one of our major cybersecurity entity has been hacked, okay, and all the network has been paralyzed, stopped. So this is a very current situation. SealPath is bringing its own ARM solution. Okay, so SealPath is a Spanish but fully international company. In fact, we are dedicated to propose our EDRM solution with more than 12-year experience here. In fact, we have a full international database installation reference, very solid one. Can be corporate, it can be enterprise, it can be education, in all the verticals, health, insurance, security, defense, but also banking, finance, very important reference here. And in fact, what we are dedicated to as R&D cybersecurity solution, we combine the encryption of the information, any kind of sensitive information, we provide full identification control, and we protect, we encrypt the file everywhere, and we give access to authorized person. As you can see here, we will go into more details. We also had many alliances for integration with DLP, with classification, Symantec, Boldon Gem, Autodesk, etc., ForcePoint, in order to adapt us to any environment of our customer. This is very important, the flexibility that we have in order to adapt to any kind of project and necessity. Okay, so more than 12 years experience working in more than 25 countries around the world. And in fact, we are helping in all verticals, as I was mentioning, industry, finance, health, public sector, government, education. Okay, so this is very important to understand that what we will provide here is a full protection encryption of any kind of the data. It can be any kind of files. It can be Office files. It can be PDF files. It can be Excel, image, text, and also industrial CAD files. Okay, objective is really here to protect this data, to attach a persistent protection to each data that will be flying with the data, and we will provide control access, means that we are an ARM solution, means that we will provide right management to each authorized person that will access this data. So for example, we will see in the demo that I can have some people with full access, other with view, edit, copy paste, print, share. We will see that each person can have different right and permission in order to access to a specific document. In fact, at any time, my data can be revoked. The access to my data means that if I have a very malicious employee leaving my company, I can block his access to the data, revoke the data, so that remotely I'm the owner of the protection of my documentation. This is very, very important. Even though the document has been sent already, at any time I can cut the access and no more access for the malicious employee. Okay, so we provide also a full audit platform. This is the administrative platform. In fact, he can access to all the alarm in order to take the right decision. He can block the access. He can see all dashboard, all person that has been trying to get inside my data. So in order to have a full view, a full vision, we can see that we provide a full advanced security solution. We provide protection everywhere and at any time. We provide full visibility and traceability with a global monitoring of the access on this documentation. We can give and restrict permission at any time, okay? And in fact, all this solution allows me to give a very quick response to the alerts and to provide a real-time answer and protection to my sensitive documentation. Okay, in fact, how do we work? SealPath will work in a very interesting way. In fact, our protection or our policies that we will be creating is based on circle of trust. Means that we will identify which person, which individual, which group, or with Active Directory integration, who will be accessing to which documentation. It means that we will create this circle of trust in the same company, but for internal agent, also external agent, okay? And these micro perimeters will help that in case of any kind of attack, the document is protected because SealPath will mark a perimeter around the file. So the file is fully protected and the protection will travel with the files, okay? We never, this is a very important point, at SealPath we never keep the tracking of the documentation. We just protect it. We don't keep anything about the document and the sensitive document. Okay, so in fact, we say that the information is traveling with no control usually, but we can give the access and it's limited to microsegment. Means that I will have access to one document, but my neighbor in the company will not access to this document, or he will have some very specific rights that make him accessing to a specific document with specific permission, whereas myself, for example, we will see that I can have a full control over my file at any time. Okay, so these are the main concept about the solution from SealPath: a full secure transfer, no more anonymity, and there's an end-to-end encryption. We will fully secure the sharing of any kind of data. This is very important. It can be industrial files, it can be office files, whatever we are protecting and tracking and giving a protection per user. And this is why we talk about a full secure collaboration that is controlled in real time. Previously, we talked about the different alliances that SealPath has with different providers in order to integrate in a very specific customer environment. Means that we have been deploying many different connectors, modules, that help me integrating perfectly with DLPs from the market, with Office 365, for example, with cloud storage tool, Active Directory, classification tools, Bolt-on James, titles, etc. As you see here, we are an R&D company, means that we are very flexible in delivering a very specific, dedicated solution to each problem and each need, thanks to this automation of protection. We will see it with the demonstration with ForcePoint right now. Okay, talking about ForcePoint, this is one of the DLP we are working. In case of a use case, what I can tell you is that we've got a very big diversity of customer or need. In fact, for example, one of the biggest need is coming from the human resource department of all companies, and they manipulate many sensitive information, payroll, compensation, salaries, taxes, lots of financial models also. Usually they are available in their file server. We will connect, we will protect automatically these file server files, okay? And this is one case, very interesting. The second case of sensitive information protection comes usually for top management. Why? Because they are the one which are using high confidential documentation in order to manage the company. So usually all this information is located in file server, computer, emails, okay? So we will also protect them. We will apply an automatic protection integration to the file server. We will protect any kind of emails and attachment of the emails in order to protect the full documentation, sensitive one. The last case that we wanted to present you, which is quite global, it's a company which is an IT company, which is working with internal agent, but most of them external agent. Lots of outsourcing, for example, means that I have to send a lot of information and I have to receive lots of information. This information will go out from my perimeters and I have to protect it. You know that usual DLP, once they are getting the document, is getting out of the perimeters of the company, is no more protected. But in our case and with our integration, in fact, all documentation can be in file server, computer, by email, collaboration app, any kind of device, it will be protected, okay? Even though if it's for internal or for external partners, no issue about it. How do we work? We will see it. In fact, we use the customer usual tools There's absolutely no agent to install. We will see that I have to install my desktop in some case, but in fact, the encryption is native to Office. There's no need for plugin. Ease of management. There's two platforms at SealPath. You've got the user platform, the protector platform. The user is the protector. And on the other side, you've got the administration platform. This administration gives all the information, the alert, all the data about who has been accessing to the documentation, if it's authorized or not at any time, etc. Means that it helps me as administrator to have the full control and to revoke the information at any time, and most of it to have the full control thanks to all the dashboard that we are providing in order to be aware about the scope of the protection and who has been accessing to this protection. Okay. Now I propose you to go to a general demonstration of SealPath. In fact, but I think I will go better on Forcepoint first, and I will make the demo at the end if you're okay. So if we're good on time, I'm just following. I wanted to go through the introduction about our autonomous protection through Forcepoint. Okay, what I was mentioning you just 1 second ago. What happened if the information is going outside of the perimeter? The DLP is restricted to the organization security perimeters only. Means that in this case, what we will do is we will integrate SealPath with, Forcepoint protection with SealPath in order to provide an automatic protection which is fully integrated. This isn't absolutely transparent for the end user. This is managed by the administrator, and in fact, once this is the schema, the draft here. In fact, SealPath with identify all the files which are protected. Okay, so Forcepoint DLP check if the file is protected by SealPath. In fact, if the content is protected, it is sent to SealPath email relay. SealPath unprotect the content, so Forcepoint can analyze them. If email's content violates a DLP rule, it is automatically blocked. If the email content is safe, then the email goes on the flow to the recipient. So this is a full scanning protected content in the email gateway. Forcepoint DLP will detect the confidential information, where it is and where it is sent. Okay, so SealPath remotely control the file and can revoke any file. This very big features is still on with this integration. The protection is performed automatically. There's absolutely no user intervention here. Okay. What are the benefits of the integration between SealPath and Forcepoint? Of course, security and compliance beyond the corporate perimeters. The file will travel fully protected and under control everywhere. So this is we think the most important factor and the most important high-level protection that we are providing. The DLP and the ARM solution offer a more complete data security solution for the customer, and in fact all corporate policies are kept enforced in the cloud, the mobile device, etc. So again, we're talking about a full perimeters, not just the company perimeters, but if you use your own device, if you're sending your document out of the perimeters in the cloud, in fact, thanks to this automatic integration, it will be fully protected. As we say, the protection is transparent, absolutely transparent for the end user, absolutely automatic, and the file is tracked, okay? Not only when the file is inside the organization, but even and most of it when they are moved to any kind of external organization. means that at the end we will reduce any kind of DLP incident because the files protected are considered fully secure and protected. Okay, so this is a very interesting model. We can also talk about integration with SealPath and McAfee DLP. Okay, when McAfee DLP endpoint classifies a document, it assigns the metadata classifiers with a value to the document. Okay, so if SealPath desktop that we will see is installed in this machine, it may apply a SealPath protection policy to the files, depending on the configurable association between the classifier metadata and SealPath protection policy. So this is the configuration on the McAfee DLP integration. All this integration, this is very interesting to know it, are fully available on the SaaS and on-premise installation. Now, let's go, please follow me on the deployment mode. In fact, SealPath can be installed on-premise on the customer infrastructure and server, and we can also get him already installed on our cloud on the software as a service model. Both can be integrated with Active Directory. The protection client is installed in desktop or file server. And as I mentioned before, SealPath never store or keep the document or the sensitive information from our customer. We just protect them. We just protect and give this protection, this nutshell around the document. Means that it will travel with the document wherever the document is sent. This is the full secure management cycle of the information. Okay, so in order to work with sensitive information at any time, we will provoke, we will ask for culture of protection inside the organization. It's better to anticipate, and it's not good to wait till it happens. And unfortunately, this is the situation. So what we recommend is to protect all sensitive data, add access control to the information, check the audit of who has been contacting and touching, accessing to the files, and check that all sensitive data is well protected. And in fact, we provide this automation of integration with DLP, for example, as we have seen, in order to force the protection, extend the protection where possible on all documentation. Okay, so this is a very interesting global solution, very easy to install, very easy to deploy, and I want to show you how it is easy also to use it as a user, as a protector. In fact, here, what do we see? In fact, here I see my desktop. In SealPath licensing model, what do we propose? In fact, I'm Sandrine Rooks, as you see here. I've got my my desktop installed. I'm from SealPath company, and in fact, my objective now is really to propose you a real life situation where SealPath can help to protect corporate document. My corporate document are here. Okay, I choose different kind of documentation, and I will show you how I can protect this document. I can provide some different access to different person, internal agent or external agent, and in fact how I can protect my document. So in this case, let's see that this company general manager is very worried about the information that an employee takes to their home, in laptop, USB device, etc. once they leave the company. Okay, so we know that once the documentation leaves the company, the document is very fragile, very exposed to any kind of data leaks. Okay, so there's no control over it. As you see, they are not protected at all. I can absolutely no issue about it. But what I want to do now is really to protect them. And we will see how I can give some different permission to different people in order to access this documentation. So here, for example, I can see my different policies. A policy is a protection that will cover people and will be applied to specific documentation. So for example, I can create here very easily a new protection, and what we can do also is open a protection which is already existing. So this protection, I put it myself here. I can change HR Department 5 Lab. For example, I will put Sontec. Here, all files to be protected urgently. So this is compulsory. I can put any kind of information and description. This is very important because it will be attached to each documentation. I can go and progress, and you can see that here I can have different people to whom I will provide different permission. Okay, so in fact, I'm defining my policy. My policy is called HR Department Files Lab Sontex or blah blah, as I put it. And now what I will do is adding user. Means that here I can look for any kind of user which are already in my agenda. I can have an Active Directory integration. I can put and include a domain, okay, or some different individual people. As you see, I already had some people there. I've got, for example, Andrew Robinson. Andrew Robinson is somebody from an external company, and I gave him this different permission, the view, edit, add user. If we go to all the user permission, you can see that Andrew can have full control, just view, edit, print, copy, paste, or add user. Okay, all permission means that he has the ability to take off the protection, is the owner of the information, he has all the right, he can access the document even after the expiration date, and he's the owner of the policy. For example, myself here, I'm a full controller. Okay, so I'm a user, full controller, and I can give permission to Andrew, has full control, but in this case, I decide to put just edit and add user. Okay, he's external. I don't want him to print. I don't want him to share. So this is it. I've got Anne Baker. She will only view the documentation. And I've got, for example, Luis Angel, who is my boss. And Luis Angel is an internal resource. I work with him every day. So he will view, edit, copy, paste, and add user. Means that add user, he can add any kind of person he wants in the same policy. Okay, and it's a delegation mechanism for the same permission appliance. I've got Mark Aldrin. Mark Aldrin is also an external company, 3lab.com, and in fact, he will be just viewing and printing the document. Okay, so as we will see, we will go further. We can set an expiration date. For example, in my HR department, I will send some quote for external provider, for example, and to my quote, I will attach an expiration date. After this date, I don't want the person to get into my documentation. As from my department, I've got many people who are traveling. They are many times out of connection, no internet connection, so I will allow some offline access. Means that here I will define how long I will allow them to access offline to my documentation. This is very important. We are all traveling, we are all remote. This is important to restrict, but also to open and allow the access, even though the person is not connected. And which is very important also, I will add watermark. I will add watermark for PDF and image. Means that, for example, let's activate it. This is the case, for example, of somebody leaving the company. He will open the document, and it's impossible to take a picture because you will see his name, his email, the department, and also the time, the day and the hours it has been accessed. Okay, so this is very important. At the end of the month, we are providing a new version of this watermark solution in order to customize and give more options. Last but not least, I can share my protection with some other people. I decide myself to share my policy with Andrew Robinson. What does it mean? It's a delegation mechanism, again, in order to change and apply the protection. Okay, means that Andrew Robinson can decide to apply the same protection to any kind of other people, other user, that he will be decide without asking me the permission. Okay, so what do? I'm Sandrine, and now I decide that I've got this documentation. For example, let's take this document. This is a Word document. I can firstly check the document information. I see that this document is not protected. I'm a protector and I want to protect. This is very easy. I've got here my protection, my policy. I put it as priority, so it appears here in this case, and I will just drag and drop this document into this case. Okay, after a moment, you see immediately that this is a SealPath extension appearing here. I'm the full protector. Then I can open my document. I can see here all the permission attached to my document. Maybe it will be a little bit slow. I checked it yesterday, and I can, in fact, it's slow. It's on my computer. Okay. Okay. I will go out. Oh, I don't know what's. I've got my computer stuck. Sorry about it. Don't know what's going on. Sorry, this is the. I will go. Okay, can't change the permission. I think, okay, here you see that this document is now totally protected, and here you see the protector. This is myself. I will close. I will open my, as you see, this is protected. I can go on my right button, and here I can also access to my SealPath menu. Okay, from here I can unprotect. I can add user, means that if I do this, I can go again to my desktop and I will add any information. So it is currently said that this document is protected by a predefined policy, but as I have the full control, I can change the policy configuration. Okay, so I will go here. This is my policy, and in fact here I can add or I can revoke any person. For example, I want to revoke Luis Angel, and I will change his permission here, okay? And I will just limit what is got, or I can also erase him, okay? So as you see, we've got the full control over it. And in fact, what I did is to protect my document. I can see it here, document protection, at shared department file lab, and this is Sandrine through the protector. I did not put any expiration date, and there's no watermark here. This is not a PDF. Okay, so back to it. I can do the same with a PDF. For example, I will protect my PDF. I will put it. This is as easy as dragging and dropping directly inside my box, and you see that the document has been immediately protected. Okay, same, I can click on my right button and I can access to my SealPath menu. I can unprotect, add user, I can modify the protection, I can customize the protection, and I can get the document information. Okay, so I will do it with any kind of documentation. Let's do it also with this Excel. I will protect it. Okay, so all these 3 documents has been protected. I can see here the document that I've been covering with my protection. You can see all the name of the document, the protection policy that I've been creating, the date also. Okay, I can see all the access to my documentation. Okay, you see that this is Sandrine Roux that has been accessing, mainly speaking, today. And you can see the warning. So the warning are very, very important, as we said, because I can see my document name. The warning, for example, many user here has been accessing and they did not have the right, but I see also that there's one document which is not protected. So very bad, Sandrine, this document should have been protected. And I see the date of the access to this document. What else can I do? I can see also the different protection that I shared with Andrew Robinson. This is the one we shared this morning, okay, with 9 documents. And I can also apply a folder protection. Means that I will be looking for my folder, I will be protecting and applying the protection, and all information, all documentation which is inside these folders will be automatically protected by SealPath policy. Okay, now let's go to another person and let's see what will be the reaction. For example, I'm changing from Sandrine to Anne Becker. This is just a kind of simulation. So I'm not switch identity. Okay, I'm Anne Becker, as you see now. And in fact, now let's see if Anne Becker is able to open it. You see that Anne Becker did not have the right to open. So there's an information that says that no way, Anne cannot open it. Okay, she can drag, I can drag and see that in fact, Anne Becker doesn't have the permission. I'm Anne Becker because this is protected by Sandrine. So Anne Becker, I did not give her the permission to get inside and to open the documentation. In fact, she could try to unprotect, but the document is already protected and she could not access because I did not give her the access to this documentation. Okay, so we could change and switch to different people. Let's go and switch, for example. Let's go and switch to Mark Aldrin. Okay, and let's try again. So, okay, I'm opening again, and I see that the same, he cannot open. In fact, according to each privilege that each person has, he will be allowed to have full access, add user, edit, copy, print, share, any kind of permission that we have been allowing to this person. Okay, so this is the desktop installed agent in order for me as a protector and user to protect my document. The other people that will be accessing the documentation are called the consumer. They don't need a license. They will not be charged to access the document. So this is very important in SealPath model. In fact, the licensing model is based on the protector, the user, not the volume of documentation and not at all the volume of consumer. Okay, I hope you like and you enjoy this part of the presentation. I will let my colleague from Sontext now deploying you the integration with ForcePoint. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandrine, for your amazing presentation.
Thank you.
So now I'm go to share a screen.
Yes, please.
I have a demo. One moment.
Sandrine, we will get the question and answer them in Romanian.
Okay.
And if there will be any other questions that Alex will not be able to handle, we will ask you about that.
Okay. And if not, we will take note in order to send back
Yes.
detailed answer. Thank you very much.
Yes, of course. Alexander will take care of the questions.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alexander.
Stimați colegi, vă rog, care mai sunt întrebări, vă rog să le adresați în chat. Dacă cineva dorește cu voce să ridicați mâna și Alexandru o să vă dea accesul la microfon. Alexandru, deci sunt două întrebări, rog să le preiei și să le dai răspunsuri la moment.
Da, mersi, Oleg. Deci Alexandru Pasat are întrebarea: Does SealPath solution protect or save layers like in this screen? The files that were restored with backup solutions, Vim or Acronis, etc. Deci, da, Alexandru Pasat, noi, soluția SealPath poate proteja documentele după ce soluția Acronis sau Vim Backup, da, a reîntors o mașină virtuală sau fizică, adică locația partajată prin rețea sau cache nepartajată prin rețea, da, poate fi protejată din nou, desigur. Deci, mai avem și încă o întrebare de la Alexandru Pasat mai jos. Can SealPath protect SharePoint online sites, Microsoft Team files, OneDrive files? Deci, da, soluția SealPath acoperă și această parte, da, protecția lor. Deci, mai jos avem de la Indrician Ion o altă întrebare. Cum putem testa aplicația să înțelegem mai bine beneficiile? Deci, domnul Ion, în cazul dat, cea mai bine este de a începe un proiect pilot, da, o testare a produsului pentru a vedea beneficiile totalmente acestei soluții în organizația dumneavoastră. Adică asta ar fi, putem mai face și un demo separat, spre exemplu, sau chiar și o pilotare, cum și-am menționat anterior, în compania dumneavoastră, adică și vedeți în timp real ce se întâmplă cu documentele dumneavoastră care pleacă din companie, dar sunt partajate în extern. Cred că asta ar fi răspunsul.
Ideea este că, da, este posibil, doar să vă adresați la departamentul Sales prin trimiterea unui e-mail cu o solicitare și o să ia legătura departamentul Sales cu dumneavoastră și o să stabilim deja o dată pentru efectuarea testării.
Da, mulțumesc mult, colegi. Da, aș vrea să completez, precum au menționat și colegii mei, că suntem mereu disponibili pentru a oferi mai multe detalii care țin de testarea soluției SealPath. Și nu numai, adică suntem permanent deschiși și să vă dăm și detalii pe partea de licențiere sau costuri sau alte informații de care dumneavoastră aveți nevoie.
Adițional, Alexandru Pasat, legat de întrebarea concretizarea, așa să spunem mai corect, deci dacă documentele au fost recuperate și este o opțiune în SealPath protejare după mape sau, adică dacă au fost recuperate documentele, ele vor fi reprotejate din nou, adică de către SealPath. Dacă nu am răspuns poate corect pe înțeles, dacă ceva, adică putem reveni cu un răspuns mai detaliat sau să dezbatem întrebarea dată. Deci, dacă nu mai sunt întrebări, cred că Corneliu, poți prelua tu mai departe partea cu...
Da, dacă nu mai avem întrebări, în primul rând vreau să menționez că vom reveni după acest webinar către fiecare cu un mail de follow-up și unde va fi anexat și un chestionar de feedback și chiar vă rugăm respectuos să-l completați, pentru că știind părerea dumneavoastră, doar așa putem să să muncim, să zicem, la punctele care ne mai scapă sau unele neajunsuri care au fost, să știm în ce direcție să ne mișcăm. Și dacă alte întrebări nu mai avem, vreau în primul rând să vă mulțumesc mult pentru timpul care ne l-ați acordat nouă și sper că ați găsit foarte multă informație utilă și relevantă pentru fiecare și care să putem să o utilizăm în ziua noastră, în munca noastră zi cu zi, pentru că este destul de dificil atunci când nu prea este acces la multă informație. Vă mulțumesc tuturor și vă așteptăm cu mare drag și la următoarele evenimente care vor fi organizate de compania Sontex System și vreau să vă urez o zi frumoasă să aveți în continuare.